All right, this is going to be a long one, but I wrote this for people coming to India that have not been there before, especially for women coming to India. So needless to say, this was written many years ago, but it still holds true, and even more so now with so many rapes and crimes happening in India. So I'm going to read this. Anybody going to India, here is a big FYI, heads up. Again, I wrote this long ago, and when women would come, I would pass them out. I would leave them in shops and things for the women to understand what they're getting into in India. So namaste to all India newcomers. Namaste means God within me recognizes God within you. May this small offering help you to find your way through the maze of what to do and not to do and why. After living within India for a couple of years, may I extend this small gift and this list of helpful to know information about greetings, customs, propriety, sadhus versus scam artists, what is yoga, and how to find a reliable teacher. Greetings. Most greetings have to do with some religious identification. Here are a list of the following. Namaste or Namaskar, God within me recognizes God within you. Hari Om. Om is preeminent within the universe as the underlying current of all of existence. Ram Ram, identification of Ram, deity that gives avenues of right living. Radhe Radhe, Krishna devotee standard greeting. Om Namo Narayana, greeting of Naga Baba sadhus, greeting to the one that gives light. Okay, for women traveling in India, the do's and the don'ts. Please wear clothing that are not revealing, no low tops and short skirts or shorts. In wearing such, it develops a low opinion of foreigners as being loose and immoral. While this is not the case, why to promote ongoing stereotypes? Use common sense and do not roam around alone after dark. Do not shake the hands of Indian men. For them to offer the hand is a sign of disrespect. It is never, ever offered to Indian women. Okay. For any, please, no open displays of affection. This once again translates into the stereotype of the immoral and loose foreigner. Okay. If a man offers you his hand, just put your hands together and say Hari Om. Okay. Do not allow young men or other Indians to pose with you for a photo. They would never grab an Indian woman for this happening. Once again, it's taking the foreign women to be loose, and the stories that are told from what you take to be an innocent photo, you would not want to know. Okay? So watch out for these so-called sadhus that want to show you around. A true sadhu would not approach a single woman. They never approach Indian women, only the foreigners. And there have been many trusting women and men that have wound up thinking that they had a holy man as their guide, only to find that their rupees and guide have disappeared into the night. Okay? For anyone traveling, beware of accepting fruits or sweets on the train from other travelers. They have been known to be laced with sedatives, and you might awaken for your valuables having disappeared. Beware of those that want to befriend you too quickly. While most are harmless, there are the occasional ones that see travelers as easy targets and marks. Please do not swim alone in the Ganges, and do not leave valuables on the shore. Okay, on sadhus. There are many sects of sadhus in India, but one thing you must know, that not all that dress in saffron are holy men. In fact, most in Rishikesh are in fact under the heading of scam artists. While it's true there is a sect of sadhu that is called Naga Baba, which most in Rishikesh attempt to appear to be, here is the difference. A true Naga Baba does not associate with tourists. They live out from society alone in caves or in the jungle. While it's true ganja is a part of their prescribed sadhana, spiritual practice, charas and hashish are not. A true Naga Baba says the appropriate mantras and smokes the ganja and sits alone in meditation. They do not smoke with friends and foreigners while drinking chai and talking nonsense, nor do they solicit monies. These Babas are simply using the sadhu clothes to dupe unsuspecting tourists to gain funds to support smoking, drinking, charas, and their free party style of existence. Having lived here for some time, it's seen and known there have been very few that actually do any spiritual practice. Another con used by this particular group is to take a young tourist and befriend them, have them come for chai, to offer a smoke of chillum, ganja, or hashish, and then put a Rudraksh mala around their neck and proclaim to accept them as a chela or disciple. Then the hand comes out for support. Beware, for some have been drugged and found their money's gone, and a few have lost their lives. That's not prevalent, but it has happened. But many times these so-called holy men have drugged each other and absconded with another's valuables. It's commonplace, so beware. There are the Tridandas. They carry the 3 sticks wrapped together in saffron over their shoulders. There are the Ekdanda, which carry 1. The wandering sadhus should only stay in one place for a maximum of 3 days. Once again, they never ask for money. Food may be offered. Their subsistence should come from a movement of the heart, not a grasping of the hand. On yogas. Most coming to India, when they think of yoga, they think of hatha, or the yoga of postures and asanas. But there are indeed many yogas. Yoga means union with God, so here is a small list. Hatha. Those are postures and asanas that give the body flexibility and prepare you to be able to sit for extended periods of time for meditation. Karma yoga, it's the path of selfless service. Bhakti yoga, it's a path of devotion to a particular aspect of God. Jnana yoga, it's the path of direct knowledge of the absolute self, the formless beyond aspects. Raja Yoga, it's a compilation of attributes of many forms of yoga. Kundalini Yoga, bring up the primal energy to cleanse the chakras and nadi systems, a highly concentrated consciousness which brings to the fore the deep-seated ideations and everything that is held within the 3 bodies. Caution. There are reasons for the cautions within this method. It is not for everyday householder with a job to maintain and a life to conduct. This form of yoga was used in another yuga, and only when the disciple was with the guru in an ashram setting under constant supervision. Having traversed this yoga, I can state that it is not the optimum way. There are many within the throes of an ongoing Kundalini process that seem to have great Shakti outpouring. But when the Kundalini process comes to completion, this great outpouring ends. Do not get pulled into thinking that a teacher can help you be safe during the process. They can walk you through, but you yourself must face the consequences. Realization is not about control nor settled experiences. These are traps along the way. It's about going beyond all the conditionings, so beware. Tantra Yoga. Notice, true Tantra Yoga is never online, never taught in a class setting. It is transmitted from teacher to student, and only 1 or 2 are taught in a lifetime. You will not find it listed in a directory. A Tantra master finds the disciple. The disciple does not find any Tantra teacher from posters or advertisements or even by word of mouth. The highest Tantra has nothing to do with the form. It is only engaged in by those that are beyond or nearing beyond the body identification. It is emerging into the formless by the emptiness of form. It is not, I repeat, not, underline not, a sexual practice having nothing to do with the orgasms of the body. In the West, they take the name of Tantra to sell sex. Gee whiz, guilt-free sex, and I can say I'm spiritual at the same time. What a deal! While Tantra can use all things to progress on the path, the sexual aspects are very misunderstood. And to Tantra, it's all about breaking the existing conditionings within your life. It's about dropping ego and doership instead of promoting more. You need to come to the place of no body consciousness. You transcend and become one with the universe. There is no separation between you and existence or your partner. Unfortunately, they use orgasm as a substitute for the bliss or anand that is spoken of in Scripture. This anand is reached only within yourself. It is not reached by having a partner. The right-hand path seeks to integrate the self, and there is no sex involved. The left-hand path does include the appearance of sex, but if it is seen as sex, then that is what it is. The left-hand path is a two-edged sword. You must be to the point of contemplative meditation where you are your partner. Before this only creates more ego sense of I am this body and this personality. And this is the danger of sexual usage. But if you are at the end of the path and you totally merge within the being of your partner, then in reality you do not need that path any longer anyway. Your mind needs to go beyond the physicality. Ritual. Any ritual is to bring the inner and the outer realities into alignment. So they took the merging of Shiva and Shakti and turned it into a practice through sexual means, but the merging of Shiva and Shakti has nothing in the end to do with sex. It has to do with merging the transient within the constant, the manifest and the unmanifest, movement and stillness, mind into no mind, action into awareness, to lose the self within the divinity of all. While you may start out in one specific path of yoga, if it is your intention to reach realization of God or self in the end, all of the yogas will be traversed. Okay? So, namaste.